Welcome to our channel that compares themes of the Gospel and Franciscan Sources. Today we delve into the propulsive meaning of tolerance and forgiveness, as radically interpreted by Francis and Clare. For a more complete overview of our human, cultural and spiritual proposal, we suggest you visit the website juvie.art. Juvie.art. Luke 6 verses 27 to 38. Love. Don't judge. And how to measure. For with the same measure you use, it will be measured to you again. Luke 6 verse 38. Jesus calls those who listen to love those who behave like enemies. Love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Luke 6 verse 27. Francis had a special love for those who mocked and judged him, and he encouraged his brethren to do the same. We read in the admonitions he wrote, "Says the Lord, love your enemies, and do good to those who hate you, and pray for those who persecute and slander you." Indeed, he truly loves his enemy who does not grieve over the injury that he does to him, but burns within him, for the love of God, because of the sin of his soul. And show him your love with your works. Sources 158. Again, deeply humble and mature in charity, each one nourished towards his brother the feelings one has towards a Father and Lord. They were careful not to fall victim to unbridled desires. They were implacable judges of themselves, concerned not to harm one another in any way. Sources 1448. If it happened that a brother let slip a word capable of hurting, the pangs of conscience did not allow him to have peace, until he confessed his mistake, humbly throwing himself to the ground, and begging the offended person to put his foot on his mouth. Sources 1449. And in the letter to the faithful, Francis, speaking about enemies, expresses himself thus: "We must love our enemies and do good to those who hate us. We must also deny ourselves and place our bodies under the yoke of service and holy obedience, as each one has promised to the Lord." Sources 196. The Holy Father, if he was judged badly by men or his brethren were pointed out, he reminded himself and them that herein lies the perfect joy of those who are poor at heart. The sources illustrate, there were therefore contrasting opinions about these evangelical men. Some considered them crazy and obsessed. Others claimed that their speech was anything but demented. One of the listeners observed, "These people here are either united to God in an extraordinarily perfect way, or they are truly senseless, since they lead a desperate life. They eat almost nothing. They walk barefoot. They have miserable clothes." Sources 1437. Furthermore, Francis abhorred deduction like the plague. In fact, we read, "The vice of detraction, radical enemy of piety and grace. He hated it like a snake bite, and like the most harmful pestilence. He affirmed that the most merciful God detests him, because the detractor feeds on the blood of souls, after having killed them with the sword of the tongue." Sometimes he judged that the person who had stripped his brother of his good reputation should be stripped of his habit, and he did not want this person to raise his eyes to God unless he had first tried by every means to restore what he had taken from another's dignity. The wickedness of detractors, he said, is much greater than that of thieves. the greater the force with which the law of Christ, which finds its fulfillment in love. It forces us to desire the salvation of souls more than that of bodies. Sources 1141. For with the same measure you use, it will be measured to you again. Luke 6 verses 27 to 38. Thank you all for your kind attention. We invite you to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our activities. If you liked it, leave a well done to support us. Subscribe, give your precious like, share with your friends, and comment too. Thanks, see you soon.